The internet is a great, if messy, democracy. Unknowns with some stellar vocal cords and a flip cam can get rocketed to stardom. Yes, Justin Bieber, we know where you came from. You never really need to meet your new friends on Facebook, and anyone with a knack for being witty in 140 characters or less can tweet their way to 15 minutes of fame. In this age of smartphones and smart clouds, of blogs and instant gratification everywhere, we all have access to giving and receiving our 2 cents. For artists, this kind of leveling of the playing field is critical to keeping our foothold in an ever-changing environment. Where would independent musicians be without the now antique MySpace? How would your resume and headshot ever end up on that important casting director's grasp or desk? How could you showcase your goods in the blink or click of an eye without a personal website? Yet, it begs the question, how much is too much? Do we really need to know where and with whom you're enjoying a beer every time you log on to Foursquare? How effective is plugging your own projects when everyone and their mother is doing it too? And at the end of the day, when anyone with a phone and an opinion can be considered a critic, how do you find the reviews and opinions that you can trust? When it comes to restaurants and bars, it seems like almost everybody is checking sites like Yelp and City Search to make sure they won't be disappointed with where they finally decide to spend their hard-earned buck. Well, Spencer and myself went out and tried to get an idea of why these reviews are so important to people and just how are they affecting the small business owner. Do you use online reviews like from Yelp and City Search?
Oh, all the time, especially being in New York, you have almost too many options. So especially like us, we're new to the neighborhood, so we're able to kind of narrow it down.
I use Yelp frequently because I'm new to New York City.
If I hear of a place and I want to go there, I'll definitely always check the review.
Nice to be able to get on and have unbiased opinion. Yeah, I've even been here for a year and I still Yelp for doctors, dentists, dog walkers. I mean, it's the best source.
Since you don't actually know these people, how do you trust their views and their reviews?
I trust the negative feedback on them. So if I see a lot of negative feedback for a particular establishment, I do believe that. So not so much the good ones, but I'll believe more of the bad ones.
I don't trust that those people that are willing to make reviews are necessarily going to be opinions that I share.
There's a certain type of people who write, their commentary, and they go home after every meal they've had and can remember every single ingredient to their meal and the beer. And
yeah, I look where else they're reviewed. And if there's somebody that just reviews everywhere, every single place they go, I don't take any notice of them because they obviously have nothing else to do.
I do put value in them, but I sometimes feel that they're biased because sometimes I think to myself that it actually might be the restaurant owner posting these blogs, so I don't know how much I trust them.
People have different palates and people have different likes and dislikes, and it is what it is.
Have you ever written a review?
I don't write reviews, I just read them.
I mean, if I had time, I would love to get on there and do it. Because it's the most valuable thing, I think,
If I'm so surprised in the outcome, I've probably done it twice in my entire life, but that's when I write it. I don't write it for everyday general commentary because I don't have enough time.
And I think about it, but I don't because of the reviews I read frequently don't reflect how I feel, and I don't feel that I want to be then judged in the same way that I judge those people.
No, I'm not that dedicated. No.
I have not either, and I've been talking about it for probably since I moved here, that I have so many opinions, and I've just never set up an account.
It's pretty obvious that the public enjoys the power to not only give their opinion, but have others read, consider, and possibly even make decisions based on their review. But how would restaurant and bar employees and owners feel about this influx of amateur assessments?
It helps to keep up with the competition. You get to see what other people are writing about other restaurants in the neighborhood. For example, we just had a couple places open up next door to us, things like that, so they can read stuff about us, we can read things about them, and I think that it helps us to be on top of our game. We know what we need to work on, and vice versa. We also know what we can do to help each other to make the whole community grow.
Especially in the market that we're in today, is everything. I don't do flyers, I don't really do the guerrilla marketing out in the street, mailers. I depend on the internet and the reviews. When the Board of Health comes in, you don't know when they come in. You should always be ready at all times, and that's the way I run my businesses.
It wasn't until my conversation with Adam Honig, owner of Lasagna Ristorante in Chelsea, that the focus turned from the restaurant to the reviewer.
It's become very, very important today when you want to spend money to go to a place where you know that other people have enjoyed themselves. Some people are obnoxious and there's nothing you can do about it, and doesn't matter what would happen, they'll always write down the negative. But some of the people, when they go on, they will write a really good, honest review. There are some search engines that I encourage, like Yelp and Menu Pages, and there are some search engines that I don't. Like City Search, if you look at City Search in my specific restaurant, I don't know why, for some reason, a lot of bad reviews on that specific search engine. But on other search engines like Yelp and menu pages, I get good reviews. So it just goes to show you that certain people go on City Search, certain people go on menu pages and Yelp. If nobody has ever told you that, then I'm telling you that for a fact.
All right,
Here's
the truth.
You can feel that the people that on our Yelp are a different kind of people that review on City Search. I don't know how to make it the exact definition, but that's how it is. That's reality.
So the question is, why do we review? Why, are we as New Yorkers really experiencing these events, whether they be a concert, a play, even a good dish? Are we really experiencing these things, or are we too involved in being connected with giving our opinion, our 2 cents?
It's interesting. I used to, whenever I used to go on vacation, I always had a hard time taking out my camera because if I was taking pictures, I felt like I wasn't enjoying whatever I was doing on that vacation. And now, all of these sites have kind of taken it one step farther. It's one thing to not enjoy it because you're taking a personal picture for your memories, but when you're now thinking about posting that picture, writing a review to go with that picture and having people judge what you say, I definitely think you can lose the grasp of what's really going on in front of you. I know, Spencer, you were mentioning the idea of watching a concert, but watching it through your video camera lens.
I see it all the time. Yeah, you literally can look out at a concert and just see the glow of cell phones, and everyone's just kind of enjoying it. And maybe that has to do with the disconnect that we're so used to now. We're so used to connecting through a screen that are we, do we get to a concert? I mean, I don't think it's a matter of necessarily feeling uncomfortable, but do we feel a need? Do we miss looking at that screen?
I think when people post blogs and when they give their reviews online, a lot of the times it gives a certain purpose to what they did, a purpose to their meal, a reason for them to go out. Because, hey, I could write about it, I could tell people about it, tell people about my experience.
Well, I think to a degree we're all kind of looking for our 15 minutes of fame, even if we're not an artist. And, I think what's most interesting is a lot of times when you do see these reviews online and you can actually click on the user, which a lot of people don't realize, when you're looking for restaurant reviews, you can click on the user who's posted that review to see, are they always negative about the restaurants they go to? Do they always say it's expensive? And you kind of judge a little bit better as a little tip for you. But I think it's interesting because a lot of people that review things review everything. Yelp about everything, Facebook about everything. And it's interesting that maybe it's a type of person that really is kind of looking to get those opinions out there and that's really important to them.
Well, I never really thought about the difference between who reviews on City Search as opposed to Yelp. I mean, I do find that if I'm going to look for reviews on a place, I do look at specific sites. And, I guess I turn that around and say, what does that say about me? What does that say about the people do I want to hear the opinions of people who I know are going to be like-minded? And then at the end of the day, do I follow those opinions or do I make my own opinion? Do I still go to a restaurant even though it got a bad review? I think that's important to remember as New Yorkers, is that we are individuals and we really need to go and experience all that New York has to offer. I think it's important and it's a great resource that we need to take advantage of.
I think part of the reason why City Pages has a little bit more negative is because you don't have to log in, you don't have to sign up, you don't have to give out your email address, you don't have to sign up so you get those millions of emails after that. With City Search, I believe that you could just make your opinion and state it. With Yelp, you have to sign up and then you kind of committed yourself to it.
We want to hear what you have to say out there, so please join us on Twitter, join us on Facebook, join us anywhere. We are really intrigued to hear what you have to say about all of these, the